No, when you have power with you, when you have money with you, and when you have the people with you, you think the world belongs to you. Until now, the same people who are feeding you turns against you. That's when you realize things are not good. He's a governor. Why, even if you are trying to defend people's properties, why will you use young men to unleash violence against fellow young men? If we are trying to protect people's property and people's lives, why will you allow that to happen? Why then did they go to City Hall to shout that tumemaliza kazi? So these are things that you think you are trigger happy, you think inafanyika, imefanyika, imeenda, imefanyika. And now what will happen? The next time Ruto will be in the ICC.
How the government dealt with you and how innocent people died.
So many young people died.
Yeah.
And like now you see there's so many young people are dying. One part you need to understand, it is a ritual. When people are killed, when they project you become whatever you become, and then they start killing, it's also a ritual. It's not just like that. It's not just by the way. It is a ritual. Also, the bloodshed is a ritual that is used to sustain the government in power. Like if you look at the example, when did Ojwang die?
Who?
Ojwang. He died on
8th. Yeah.
8th. On the month of?
Was it June?
8th has a significant spiritual realm. June is a month that sacrifices are given. This is a son, a firstborn son, and the only son. What a choice.
That sounds like a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy, yes. You agree with me, it's a conspiracy or not. That is you. But what I need you to understand, all these things are ritual. Whatever we were doing then, we were pushed to do things at the expense or at the advantage of some people, like Shakahora was doing, or many things that rituals happen around. So any form of a killing you see by a state or an agent of a state, and it brings a pro, it was a sacrifice. It was not just ordinary. Whoever that was behind it, could it be not the man that did it? Could it be not the people that did it? But behind the scene, behind the spiritual powers, there is somebody.
There is a hidden force pushing.
There is a hidden force pushing it. Because it is all about the thing that we are calling the New World Order and the many things that are happening and the reestablishing power. Politicians use a lot of witchcraft. Politicians are devil worshippers. Politicians use private organs for human beings. Politicians use internal organs for them to sustain power. They kill people to sustain power. They do many things to sustain power. Therefore, what is happening now, and also the Gen Zs, remember this guy. I don't know whether you know. He was also called Mukwana. The guy for Kware murders. The guy that was arrested.
Collins, alikuwa anaitwa Collins Jumaisi.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
If you ask very clearly, very well, yeah, he might have been killed. Because what Mukwana is doing now, he should have been killed by yesterday. Because what is he revealing? He's setting up some powers. Because once you go from the OCS to OCPD to DIG.
He's snitching on them.
Yes, to DIG. Who appointed the DIG? We want to tell me that the DIG was operating without NIS knowing. NIS is pro-government. He's supporting the government and defending the government. So DIG was doing the same. So what could be the repercussion? Because this is a formation of an army that is coming. This information, let's put in quote, the Mungiki of those days now is being created because we were created out of fragmentations and desperation of many things that were happening around us. And because of desperation, economical desperation, social desperation, and the the national fabric disconnect. This is what caused to, we have a Mungiki, and not only a Mungiki, we had the Talibans, we had Amachuma from the Kisii, we had the Al-Shabaab from the Somali, Chinkororo, we had Kamjesh, we had Mombasa guys, they had a name, the one that were killing people from Bara.
I can't remember.
I remember the name. We had them. We had all places. They were created by politicians for political purposes. And when these people conflict together and then they have a rogue person who unites them, then we are in for something very dangerous.
It's a taking time.
Kenya must be prepared for a possible, a bomb, a bang in the country that will cause, because if I'm saying if, this kind of rogue kind of people you're seeing, that they can get into a police cell, beat somebody to death, and then they go looking for cover-ups. That's a well-organized group, well-orchestrated thing. How many people have gone unnoticed? These people have blood in their hands. People they have killed. When somebody kills, he thinks killing. Now, why is Raila so silent on this? Why is he not making noises? Why is Orengo silent?
Because
why is Onyang' Nyong'o silent? It's only this lady, Wanga and
Millie
Odhiambo. At what time did women become now the advocate of the Luo community? We are just thinking loudly. I'm not trying to insinuate anything. Just try to think loudly. At what time that now everything has been left for women to do the job? You can see the conspiracy that is moving on and how big this thing is. And the Raila maybe thought he will get into the government of Ruto and disorganize it the way he disorganized the Moi government, or he tried to disorganize the Kibaki government. This government of Ruto, it's very hard for you because it is a government within a government. We have like 6 governments in the Ruto government. So Raila doesn't know which government is dealing with.
What do you mean we have 6 governments?
Because there is they have layers inside of government. We have the Faruku government, we have the Kipsigis government, the Nandi government, the Murkomen government, we have the Kendiki government, they have several governments inside the government because everybody is trying to please.
Those are structures.
Yeah, those are different structures because they want to please the master. This guy from DIG is an AP, is not a regular police. And this guy called Ndegwa, is it Ndegwa?
Douglas Kanja.
Kanja.
Yeah.
Kanja is a normal police, regular police officer.
Yeah.
He's not in the line of AP. AP is always, they think they are superior than the normal police officers.
Because they are paramilitaries.
They are paramilitaries and they have special training, special arrangements. So for them, they look at other police, like they look at the DIG and they see, ni mtu wa boot. So they don't look at him, the IG, they don't look at the IG as a man that they can
take instructions
from.
from.
And number 2, you find that all the number 2s in the government of Ruto, they come from one community. All the number 2s, they come from one community. And this is the community that is controlling. They're the one that Ruto is calling, not you up there. You put there watu wamewekwa pale juu just for the sake ya kuonyesha watu we have a national face. But number 2s are the people controlling the whole thing. So whatever that is happening is what can happen that happened in Sudan with the Hemedi and the group. And this you can see now the weapons that are in Sudan. You can see massacres that are in Sudan. People are maimed. See, things are being smuggled from Sudan. The economy of Sudan, nobody is controlling. Fighting is there. People are dying. Mothers are dying. And this could happen to us if we are not very careful. Could happen to Kenya if we don't control this situation. And I'm asking the young people, the Gen Zs, the millennials and everything. Now, let us focus on the fabric of the nation. Let us not fall. This has been handled. The Ojuang case has been handled already. and things are going on. Let's come together and look at one direction. Let's take back Kenya to where it is supposed. Let's stop these goons. Let's support anything, whether it is Mungike, whether it is Ngororo, West Machuma, whatever it is, Al-Shabaab. Let us unite first to safeguard Kenya. Let us be jealous of Kenya. If you are Luo, you are a Kalenjin, you are Kikuyu, whoever you are, nationalism, being a nationalist here is very important, very proud for us that we return Kenya to a peaceful nation. We do the demonstration and stop these goons being used. Stop these young men, because we know them from wherever you come from. We know who is who, where is who. We come to terms, we sit them down, and we tell them, don't destroy your nation. Don't destroy your country. Our country is so important. We need peace. And I appeal to the president. President is so many people that Kenyans thought of a very intelligent man. But what happened to him? Everybody until I voted for him. I didn't vote for him because he's a Kalenjin or he's had UDA. But how he used to articulate things.
You could feel that this is the guy.
You could feel the vibration Kenya needs. This is the vibration.
They actually say he's a good orator. Once he steps on the stage.
Wow. He talks things. Now you wonder, where did this man that kept talking to us, where did this man go? You see, he's a good man. I don't know what happened to him.
Now, Apostle, from your experience as an ex-Mungiki leader,
yeah.
At that time while you were busy patrolling the streets of Nairobi, working together with the government, were you sure of what your fate would be in the near future? Or maybe were you aware of what might happen to you next?
No, when you have power with you, when you have money with you, and when you have the people with you, because power is the government, people is the people's power, and then you have money. You think the world belongs to you. Until now, the same people who are feeding you turns against you. That's when you realize things are not good. Because I remember that's the time the internal security minister announced and said, shoot Waruinge on site. Not Michuki. The one who started it is Christopher Murungaro. He said, shoot Waruinge on site. And he gave 40 million over my head. I had to run away from this nation. I went to South Africa. I went to Namibia. I went to DRC. I went to Mali, Bamako. That is where I was hiding myself. It was untenable. It was complicated. And these are people that you are with in Mungiki. They were members of Mungiki. The same people who said so. They were members of Mungiki. And we supported them to win the election. And then they turned against us because they thought we would become a threat to them. Now, much later again, the Michuki comes in. Michuki now declares war and kills. In Kangema alone, 700 young men were killed one day.
I remember he went on camera and he said, if you rattle a snake, you must be prepared
to be rattled by a snake.
And
he said, these people you are seeing, you will not even bury them. One by one. And he did that.
And in Mathare, just sorry to cut you short, in Mathare at that time, and all these ghettos where most of you were said to be dwelling in, how are the police identifying you that you are a member of Mungiki?
One thing, we were taking snaps, and some had dreadlocks, and some had pierced their ears.
Yeah.
Upper Jew. So that was something that you could be able to identify. Again, while we were in Mungiki, NSIS planted other members of NSIS and they became Mungiki members. And they were given a lot of money to come and find their way up to the top ranks. Because when you're like a church or you have an organization and you have so and so, Plug TV is the one sponsoring, you get to attract that favor of become chairman. And most of the Mungiki chairmen that were then, all were NSIS members. Most of the treasurers, most of the coordinators were NSIS members. They were given money to come and join us, and then they came and found their way to the top leadership. So The people, then I had moved out of Mungiki. It was Maina that was leading Mungiki. Maina now came, there's a time he found himself under the control of NSIS. Himself, he thinks he has members, but they are not members. And from then, that is when they started arresting him. I remember he was arrested by a toy gun and taken to Kamite for 6 years. Later on, he was arrested. He came out, he was arrested with the Bangi. He came out, and then that's when they tried to kill him on Jororok, those places. And many things happened to him, not knowing that the people that he was with in his cars, in wherever going, they were NSI's guys and some of police who were seconded to Mungiki so that they can tame the animal that was created by the previous government.
So at that time, before all these tribulations started hitting you guys, in the previous government, you had all the security, you had all...
We were running the show. We were so powerful. We were doing anything. We could enter to any office of an OCS. An OCS would salute when you enter to his office. An OCS will do anything to please you because you can sack the OCS. You can just, one phone call, and the OCS is gone. Now these OCSs, later, they were given power against us.
Now in the new government.
The new government gave them power now to deal with us. Remember the bitterness they were having against us. They dealt with us ruthlessly. Ruthlessly. Many people died. Thousands of people died.
And just a quick one. At that time, what mode of executions was the government carrying on the members of Mungiki?
The same execution you are seeing now. That is exactly what used to happen. There was people dying in cells, people being shot, people plucked their eyes, and they will find them, postmortem will be done, you'll find their eyes in the stomach. People will be cut their fingers, people will be cut their legs, people will be chopped off their private parts. That's what used to happen, total terror. And this will happen to these young people who are supporting Sakaja, who are supporting these politicians, who are being given money. I would want to just caution them. Stop what you're doing. It will turn against you. You will cry at some point. Just you have your young people with your motorbikes. Just concentrate on that 50 bob you are getting. Wachana na pesa hii ya watu. They will eat you once they are through with you.
So if you look at how you guys were being tortured back then, and currently you can see some of these famous MCAs and governors are endorsing these young men to come.
You know what? Me, I've been to prison 52 times. There is no single prison in Kenya, the major one, that I've never been taken to. From Kodiaga to Manyani, from Manyani to Kamete to Naivasha, all the prisons in Kenya, Maine, I've been to prison 52 times. I have been shot at 12 times. I was poisoned 9 times. And I was taken to Nyati.
Nyati House, I remember.
Nyati House and the Nyayo House torture chambers several times. And some of the people that are in the government today, and some of the people who are governors today, and some of the people who are now top senior people in the country were part of the team that used to torture us. So when you hear a person like Natembea saying, giving a narration, how people are tortured, Natembea didn't buy the idea of that newspaper, that this thing was done in Karura. He went straight to what he knows happens. He went straight to the police cells. He didn't go to Karura. He didn't give a story of Karura. He went because he's part of the people, of the team that used to do these things. He was an administrator. Wamonyoro was an administrator. These people that worked in the government, the protocols of the government as administrators, these are the people that used to execute the plans of the then governments, Moi government, Kenyatta government, and any other government. So what they are telling you is the truth. If they wanted you to die, they would just allow. They didn't want Ngeno. Natembea didn't want Ngeno to die because he knew the repercussions, that what could happen. So he rescued Natembea. He had people from DCI coming. He rescued this guy. He pulled him out and took him because they knew what will happen. It's him who is going to be blamed.
He was actually, he said that Joanna Ngeno was supposed to be sodomized.
Yes. And you could be sodomized by the people, like the people who did with we never know what happened to Kajwang before. Ajwang before he was killed. It could be he was sodomized first, and then they finished with him.
No, talking about the Goons, following yesterday's invention of Goons in the capital city, the governor afterwards issued a statement saying that he is not aware of who these young men are.
You know Sakaja, and I feel pity for him because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's being flamed up by the same people that will come and turn against him. But if I was Sakaja, I will stop that menace. I will call even these demonstrators, the Gen Zs, the millennials out, because he's a young man. I will call them to my office and then discuss this issue together. I will just try to do some politics. He's been silent for quite a long. I will just go silent and let people who are doing this to do these things. Remember Farouk telling him that we want to hear peace is there. Is he the IG or the DIG or the Nairobi commander? He's a governor. Why, even if you are trying to defend people's properties, why will you use young men to unleash violence against fellow young men? If we are trying to protect people's property and people's lives, why will you allow that to happen? Why then did they go to City Hall to shout that tumemaliza kazi? So these are things that you think you are trigger happy, you think inafanyika, imefanyika, imeenda, imefanyika. But the actual thing is, what will happen to you tomorrow? Because Waruinge is also vying. Waruinge is also another goon who will be able to do his goonish. Might Waruinge could be vying. Waruinge has
his own goons.
Can activate goons at ease. I can activate if you wanted. If you wanted 10,000 people right today, it's just a phone call away. I'll just call and they will come. So what if there is this Kakuya? Kakuya is from Eastland, and you know politicians from Eastland, what they can be able to do.
Very rogue.
They are very rogue. If Kakuya now says, bring my 10 people, Waruinge the same, Plug TV the same, Kemani the same, any other person the same, and then these people converge in the city,
what would happen?
What will happen? Kenya will burn up. Kenya will be destroyed. This is very immoral, something that must be stopped at all costs. We must rise. Men, I'm talking now to the men of God, men of color, the politicians, business community, people in the government. Let's come together and stop this. Let people be allowed to picket as long as they're not destroying properties and as long as the police is not interfering with them. When the army is around, like when the people are demonstrating toward the airport, the people interacted nicely with the army and they could not even go. Nobody stopped them because they found nobody's resisting, nobody's fighting us. The only way to win, to defeat a demonstration is to becoming friendly to them. If the police become friendly to the demonstrators, you defeat them automatically.
You have disarmed them.
You have disarmed them because they want to be chocosoad. They want tear gas. They want these water cannons to come. So they enjoy. Are you getting me now? They enjoy. So this thing of using force, it will cost Ruto's presidency. It will cost this government the reputation and everything. Not the reputation for the Wazungus, but the reputation amongst us, because there will be a lot of mistrust and there will be a lot of confusion and people fighting one another. Then after now, we are together because we are fighting for a blogger, Kikuyus are in, Luos are in. But now when we come to the elections, Luos will be separate, Kikuyus will be separate. And again, we will have that tribal repercussions along this country, and many things will be happening, which is wrong for the nation and not right for the nation.
And Apostle, you have just said that the governor of Nairobi is not aware of whatever he's doing and is actually being set up. He's setting up himself. Who do you think, maybe who is behind the governor's move?
Now, what I can say is this. The people, Raila is a friend to the governor now.
Yeah.
Ruto is, of course, governor is in UDA. They are protecting the government. But much if you look at this, it's like Farouk is behind the governor now, and the governor is trying to amass as much as possible to get as much money as possible. And the only way to get money is to tune in to the dances of the regime, the people who runs the regime. And number two, maybe you want to steal some money from the city council coffers, and then justification must be done. But above all, it is not his instructions. It is somebody from outside who is doing the same. And that is the most dangerous thing, because it is not something he owns. It is a project from somewhere else. And these are the Sudis, the Farukus, and the many things.
So you still insist that when the rains start beating, rather falling, the first victims of this rain would be Sakaja.
Yeah, of course, I can assure you for free.
And the Goons.
I can assure you for free. Sakaja will have the most roughest time from now henceforth, from the same Goons that because I hear they were not paid. They were not paid. Yes?
True.
Yeah. I'm hearing from the people from the ground, most of them were not paid. Somebody was given money and disappeared with the money. So these guys wasted their time the whole day. Some of them lost their motorbikes. Some of them were injured. And now Sakaja goes to the ground. What do you think is going to happen?
So this is the same monster that might come to haunt him later.
It will come. The same people they are using to do whatever they are doing, the same people will be used against their political entrepreneurship. So what I'm trying to paint a picture to you is a picture of a nation that is at the blink of collapse. A nation that has people that are not ready to protect it. A nation that has a people that are ready to do anything to make sure they remain in power. Because that is the idea, the sole idea they have. Yes.
Now let's shift from real politics now. You are saying that the president and his team aren't ready to hand over power. Do you feel by 2027 you'll still be, you will be in the office for a second term? As
I said earlier during our last couple of interviews, I said things will not be so well in the country from all quarters. And many things will be working against the president. Like now, you see, he's trying to handle a fire that he didn't start. Somebody else, and now it's backstopping at him. And he's being forced to do changes that he was not prepared for. So if you look at the succession plan of the police has gone now down, because when Kanja was to go home, this guy was to take over. And the succession plan would have worked very well for him. Now, things are not really working well for the president. And at the end of the day, and end of sometimes that you find that the president will be forced now to become bitter. And when the president becomes now bitter, he becomes angry of what is happening, many people take advantage of him. The rogue police, the rogue politician, the rogue business people, they will take, because they will go and say, Plug has said this, we need to stop him. Plug has said this, we need to stop him. So that's the time now an angry president falls into the hands of people like Hemedi, who will now cause real chaos because they don't care. And now what will happen? The next time, Ruto will be in the ICC. Because if you look at what's happening now, the combination of the discovery of guns in Sudan. If Hemedi is arrested, for instance, then Ruto will be mentioned in that matter. And they will be one of the people that have caused mass deportation of people, mass removal of people, because you provided with guns that has caused this to happen. Again, the killings of the young people It's being documented. I hear the ICC people are around. And I remember the Ruto files are still open. They were not closed. It is Uhuru's file that was closed. But for the Ruto file, it was not closed. So they will just trigger on something that can cause this thing to happen. And again, there are politicians who will want to do that to happen. And people kill one another, so many, and then to be blamed on Ruto. You see how dangerous it is? The same goons. Somebody can plant another group of goons to go and kill several of them, like 30, 40, 50 at one instance. And then who will be blamed? Ruto ameua. Yet it is not Ruto. Somebody else did it. Why will you use young men to unleash violence against fellow young men if we are trying to protect people's property and people's lives? Why will you allow that to happen? Why then did they go to City Hall to shout that tumemaliza kazi?